Hello and welcome to Practice Your English. Today we're going to be looking at the word friend. Now this is a word that you've probably heard quite often in Australian English, and it's common to English all over the world. Before we get started talking about this particular word and how it can be used, I'd like to introduce myself. My name's Scott, and my colleague here.
Hello, I'm Effie, and we're both from Broombank Libraries.
So we're talking about the word friend. Now before we get started, we'll give you a quick definition of the word friend. So a friend is someone that you're close to, someone who you like, who usually isn't a family member. That's not to say that you can't be friends with your family members, because you can, even though in a lot of families not everybody is friends. But usually when we use the word friend, we're referring to someone who is outside the family unit. Now this is a word that can be used in lots of different ways. We have a few examples to start with. I'll go out there on a limb and say that Effie is my friend. Hopefully she won't disagree with me.
No, I don't disagree, and Scott is my friend. Even though we're colleagues, we consider ourselves as friends.
And together, as that we're both friends, we can use the word friendship. Friendship describes the state of being friends. So because I'm Effie's friend and she's my friend, together we have a friendship. Which is opposed to being enemies, which is another word you've probably heard, which is the opposite of friend. And an enemy, usually you would dislike the person and they would dislike you back. But in this case, we're friends, so we like each other. Now we have a few questions we're going to work through. We're going to do a demonstration conversation to show you how friend can be used in a conversation, and also to discuss some of the ideas and issues around friendship in Australian culture. So let's have a conversation using the word friend and exploring some ideas around friendship in Australia. So we've got a few conversational prompts, and Effie, would you like to take it away?
Yes. So, Scott, if someone asks you, what is friendship? So how would you define friendship in your own words?
For me, friendship, I think, is two people who care about each other, who look out for each other, who support each other when one or the other person is having a hard time. Yeah, people who are there for you, people who care for you and who are there for you but aren't your family, because that's family. So yeah, I think that. What about you? What do you think?
There's a saying also, you can pick and choose your friends, but you're stuck with your family.
Yes, definitely.
So, with your friends, what do you like to do?
Well, we like getting meals out, which at the moment is a little bit challenging. We like to play board games together, we like to go walking in the mountains. And very occasionally, if we're lucky, I have some friends who I've managed to go overseas with to do skiing and things like that. What about you, Effie? What do you like to do with your friends?
Well, I like to talk a lot with my friends. I like to go out to dinner and have lunch, but mostly talk with my friends.
Friends are good for that.
Yes.
Yeah. You would hope that you can have a decent conversation.
Yeah, because
with
a true friend will listen to you no matter what you have to say. They have the time and the patience, and they won't judge.
And they often you'll have shared interests as well, which is often an important part of a friendship.
Yeah, that there's an understanding. You know them very well, and they know you well and your situation. And if you want that advice, that you have trust in their honesty.
Yes, yes. I think it can be a multifaceted thing with many different ways about it, friendship.
So, what are some things you like about your friends?
Well, I mean, they like me, which is nice, I hope.
That's why you're in a friendship, because
well,
obviously respect you as a person.
You would hope, yeah. But I guess the main thing is that they're kind, that they care for others, that they're good people, that they're good listeners, and I think that, and also we have an interest in each other. And also, you know, I think that they're people that can be relied upon.
It's a special bond, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. If my car broke down and I needed help, I could call one of my friends. If I got in trouble with the police, depending on how bad, maybe, I could call my friends.
So if I rang you at 4 o'clock in the morning and I'm thinking, oh, Scott, can you lend me $10,000? What would you say?
I wouldn't say no straight away, because you're my friend. So, I don't know if I'd have $10,000, but I would think about it, and then I'd think, well, maybe I can help you with maybe $1,000.
Okay.
Or maybe we can, I'd say, you know, what do you need the money for? You know, I wouldn't be as flat. No, I want to help you. I would want to help you.
Help me out with a plan perhaps of how I can achieve that $10,000.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So that's why we're friends.
Yes, because we look after each other.
So what do you think ultimately is the most important thing in a friendship?
I think kindness and care between each other. That friends would look after each other, and that, you know, while you might compete in a friendly way, you're not. I don't really feel I want to compete with my friends. We want to look after each other and support each other on the journey of life and be there.
Yeah,
what about you?
Yeah, well, we're all individuals and we all have different strengths and we're all in different positions. So it's just respecting that other person, that perhaps that person might not be as fortunate as yourself, but it's respecting their situation, themselves as a person.
Absolutely.
It's acceptance.
Yeah, and I think you'd find that these things and ideas around friendship will be the same in every culture in the world. Friendship is not something unique to Australia. Everybody in the world has friends. What isn't unique to Australia, though, is some of the slang that you'll hear, some of the strange words that you'll hear around friendship. And Effie and I are going to have a look at some of those now. Thanks.
You're welcome.
So you feel like a cuppa, Effie?
I certainly do. I think it's time for a cuppa and a Bickie.
Oh, I'll hand one over, mate. Here you go.
Thank you very much. Bickie time.
Bickie time. So you've probably heard a few words there that I'd say if you've been in Australia a while, you would have heard around a bit. The first one would be mate, which is a very Australian word that you hear everywhere. As you probably already guessed, mate is just a slang term for friend. It means the same thing. You can pretty much get away with using mate in almost every circumstance in Australia. Maybe not when meeting the Queen,
no.
But if you met the Prime Minister, you could probably call him mate. I think it would be okay, because it's meant as a friendly thing and it's taken as a friendly thing. But what about the other words we used there, Effie?
The cuppa and the Bickie?
Cuppa and Bickie. Yeah.
Cuppa and Bickie. So we're having a cuppa. So cuppa actually means a cup of tea. So it's shortened. And a Bickie, so what's another name for a Bickie?
Also known as a biscuit. Or a cookie, depending on where you're from. The Bickie is just an abbreviation of
Sorry,
biscuit,
he's talking with his mouth full of Bickie.
which is very rude, and I shouldn't do that.
That's right.
Sorry for my bad manners.
That's okay, Scott. You're excused this time. So having a cuppa and having a Bickie can be any time. It doesn't have to be a morning tea or afternoon tea. With good friendship and good friends, a cuppa is fantastic. If you're feeling down, cuppa will pick you up.
I'll drink to that, Effie.
There we go. Cheers. So a cup of tea is great any time. So enjoy your Bickie and cuppa. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time. So it's bye from Effie.
And bye from Scott.
That's it. You meant to say bye from Scott. See you later. Bye.